Happy Wednesday to my entire INFUSE Theory Network. Today I wanted to take a few minutes to talk about the word leadership and the importance of that responsibility, and that regardless of how you are naturally wired and what your disc might be, whether it's dominance, influence, steady, or conscientious, what do you dominantly lead by? There is a certain requirement and a foundation that is required when you're in a leadership role, and that the word adapting to better connect and to better serve the people that are in your circle is ultimately the key to success. So if we talk about leadership, we look at the two extreme spectrums. There is that one leader who is impatient, is not naturally a great listener. They're very competitive. Everything is about production numbers. Everything is about results. They come across as not being too empathetic, and they usually have a zillion things that they're doing at one time. And then there is the leader who is more passive, doesn't like confrontation, extremely nice and giving and pleasing with everyone. It's important that they are liked. It is important that they are accepted. Therefore, they don't ruffle the feathers. And when they need to get involved in things, they naturally look the other way and hope that it's going to go away like a bad dream. Or they delegate to someone else to take care of some of those issues that are pressing and really needed to be handled by the leader of that organization. And if we also look at that extreme spectrum, the one that I said was impatient and not a good listener, sometimes they come across as just more telling instead of listening and figuring out what is the best way to help you achieve what your ultimate goal is. So whether you're that extreme side of the spectrum, which would be someone who's a high D for dominance, or you're all the way in the other side of the spectrum, which might be just a high I. Now, don't forget, there might be blends of these two, or a high S. Remember that leadership is not about being liked and loved by everyone. Of course, if you lead right, you will eventually be able to have a lot of people follow your leadership because they respect you, because they truly know you care about them individually. But when you have to make tough decisions to run your business, you cannot make everyone in your organization happy, especially if you're running an organization of at least 20, 30, 50, 100 or more. You have to go with what is best to protect the greater good, to protect the greater group. So if you want to be a leader that is liked and loved by everyone, then you've probably heard this before. You're better off selling ice cream. But what's really important is creating the balance between the two. Sometimes allow silence to do the heavy lifting. Sometimes don't make everything a battle. But at the same token, I think one of the key words to great leadership is to be present, and it's to be proactive so that you can make sure you're handling something before it's too late, before that water has spilled, before you've maybe lost an associate that you truly valued and cared about. So with that said, think about adaptation. Think about self-reflecting. And how can you be a better version of yourself? How can you be the leader that you wished you had? And sometimes the answers are in the room. I think one of the biggest advice that I could give is mastering the art of questioning. So if you sit down with someone, or in a group, know that the answers are usually in the room. And if you're able to ask open-ended questions, most of the time, people will know how to fix a certain situation just with your guidance, or will be able to understand what is it that the group is trying to achieve. And know that the why should never be you. You should never ask people in your organization to do things for you because you are the leader, or to do things for the team because the team wants to win. Now, all this is a given, but if you can understand that the number one goal is for them to know why this is going to help them personally, professionally, financially, or even help their family, if that's clear, then each member will contribute and do what it takes in order to achieve that goal so that everyone can succeed. So that's my tip of the day when it comes to leadership. Now, I would ask that you comment, you like, you share, and you even post. And more importantly, if you have any additional questions on how to achieve these goals, why these goals are so important, and what you need to do to make it happen, I'm only a direct message away. I'm only a strategy call away. So don't hesitate, because there are so many moving parts into this few minutes that I decided to share some of these best tips with you. Have an amazing day. Keep doing what you're doing, and I'll talk to you soon.